Now we're going to get into some exercises. I explained to you before the fundamentals of singing. You saw all of that. And I always like for you to have a basic understanding of the physiology of the body or how your anatomy works, yours in particular, because they're all different. You have different size vocal cords. That's why you sound differently than other people. But I just want you to understand a little bit of this. Also, I'm not giving you any music theory here or any of that. You do, because I don't want you to have that in your head that you need to understand any of that to be able to sing well. You don't. Okay, so don't, if you can take a music theory course if you want to get to all of that, but I'm talking about how can your voice function properly. So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to have these things up there. You can see. I just wanted you to see this now while I'm going to, so you just get a visual of where these things are located. And you see I'm starting with the swallowing. And the swallowing muscles, those are the ones under here. We went through that, but I want you to find them again. But this is the thing that I call my secret weapon. I'm saying that because when I first started coaching, that was the thing that I discovered was giving me all the trouble. Everything that I thought was wrong with me was a result of that. So over the years, I've shifted my coaching to begin with this exercise. I do not start with your breathing because see, you're thinking that your problem is your breath, that you're not breathing correctly, and that's usually not it. It's usually that you're stopping your breath. That's what's going on. So when we get back to this place where you're operating naturally, normally the way your body is meant to operate, you're going to have much more access to your sound and greater control. So this exercise is a weird one. I told you that some of these will have I have you use crutches, meaning your hands in weird faces, and you need to do this because we're changing from where you were. So we've got to do something on the other side, really exaggerate it to get you to understand it. First of all, so what you're going to do is I'm going to start with this is called the humming exercise, all right? So you're going to start with your thumbs under your jaw so you can feel, just to make sure that the muscles are not coming down. You don't need to push on this. This is just for you to feel what's going on, and you will be aware of it. A good thing to do in the beginning is to place your thumbs there and just start to find the muscles. Swallow, move your open like that. You'll feel them come down, and then you can also feel then that your air is stopped, and that's the problem. So what we want to do is to get those to relax. But keep your thumbs there again now. Now just start to talk a little bit. Just start to talk and see what happens. You probably feel them coming down in certain places. Not everyone will have the same. However, everyone will feel this. Make this weird face. Smile like this. Now start to talk and just see what happens. You see? It's up there. And now I'm not feeling the muscles coming down. It's an exaggeration, but I just want you to get a sense of that. And there are different elements to this. I'll tell you, if you were to master this exercise, you would see your voice change quickly. I'm saying that because you will not do it right away. You've got to come back and do this consistently to get the result. When I began, my coach said to me, you've got to stay there and just keep doing this over and over again. And that was the thing that ultimately saved my voice. So I'm going to do this exercise for you so you can see exactly how it's supposed to go. And I'm going to do it a few times because I need you to focus on several different things. First, I don't want to breathe. I know that sounds crazy to you, but that's exactly what we need. I don't want you to take a breath because if you have been used to not feeling your breath, you've also had the habit of doing that when you start to sing, and that's part of your problem. So we're going to change that. So, I did not take a breath, and I'm using what I call, what it was given to me, what's called the both technique, meaning when you're humming, you can, when your teeth are together, in the back here, there's no air coming in. That's what we want first. Now, for me, because my body was used to going back here, I have to really make this strange face to be able to find it. Now, let me show you how this sounds. And again, it's going to be ugly. This is not something that's supposed to sound good, so don't try to do this to make it sound good, all right? So that's it. Now, what you want to do always is only go as far as you can until you feel them starting to fight you. If you feel them starting to come down, those muscles starting to come down, stop, because you don't want to reinforce that. These are everything you do with your voice is about developing habits. So you don't want to keep using that one. So you just stop. Eventually, what you will find is that as you do this, little by little, you get higher and higher. Oh, now I'm feeling it. That's what will happen. And if you were to do this just a few times, you would see the changes beginning to happen. Now, there are other things that will go on with this. That's why I said I'm giving you different things. When you're going up, you might have a tendency to open that way. Go back here. Don't want that. So we're going to do just the opposite. I close there. Back here, that both technique, I'm thinking down. Let me go back and do it for you so you can see that I'm doing that. And then what we're going to do is work on the lower notes, because the lower notes would be the problem that many of you have. So now there, I'm in a pretty good place there. Now let me go back. I'm going to show you something else. Let me go back here. Okay, so now the lower notes. I know, that's different. I'm reversing everything. You will find that what I'm giving you are really the opposite of what you've been used to doing. It's called, a lot of times I call this my top to bottom method, or the inverse. It's just a change, okay? So on the lower notes, when I close and go up, my sound gets cleaner. I don't have that scratchy sound. When you start to get that really scratchy sound, you're back in your throat. Your cords are not able to connect. Now I'm connected, and now it's really clean. All right, so let me just do it one more time so you get a sense of that. So I'm thinking the opposite in everything that I'm doing. I'm not going up from here. I'm starting there. Bring the note down. Different. And then and closing up on the bottom. This is why it will require you to take a little bit of time as you go through these, because you will feel your voice starting to change so quickly, and you'll get the result. Okay, let me just do this one more time. I know it's really ugly. Closing, I'm going up in those lower notes. Now I'm letting go. I'm not going here. I'm starting here. Now, you will find places where it starts to break apart. That means it went out of place. So don't worry about that. You will start to connect it. And as you do this, as I said, you will find that it starts to come together. You're going to feel all this power. Then the other thing that's going to happen, as I told you before, you're going to do some of these and notice right away the difference in your voice. Like, oh wow, I can hear myself. I'm projecting a lot more. It becomes that. So that is the first thing that you're going to start to do. But again, you have to use this when you're using your hands, especially in the beginning. It may take you some time. Otherwise, you will not feel what's going on underneath here. On these exercises, they're wide ranges. I've left them that way on purpose. You need to fast forward to the place where it's easy enough for you to start, easy enough for you to begin. You will extend all of these ranges. You may get much more of it, but don't try to start too high or too low when you feel like you're struggling to get there. You want to do everything in an easy way now so that you will start to gain control. Now, there are two parts of the tonal quality, the tonal sound to your voice. This is why you have a different voice than everyone else. So we're always trying to find your right place. there's one sound. We're trying to keep the larynx in place, as you know. We're keeping the larynx stable because then we have access to all of our sound. Now, what will occur is that you have to be, depending on your voice, the sound of your voice, and the size of your vocal cords. That's what makes the difference. So you have this the edgy sound. What that does is it pulls up on the muscles in the larynx. The other sound is this open, yawny sound that pulls down. So if I have too much of one of those, you can tell what will happen. If I have too much of the open sound, I'm just falling back in my throat. My air is stopped. If I have too much of the edgy sound, I'm straining and pushing up and all of that. So I'm always attempting to find that balance. And the balance is going to be for your voice. And when we get that working, you will have this brilliant, beautiful voice. That's what it is. So I want you to have that because this information is going to be really helpful for our next exercise, which is also going to help you to start to release, to get these swallowing muscles to relax so they're not destroying your voice. All right.